You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 14th meeting of the Long Beach Building Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order at 1:04. This is the regular scheduled meeting of the Long Beach Building Commission on October 14th, 2022. Since we have members attending by Zoom, all of our votes will have to be by roll call. In honor, I have checked on this before we I didn't have some sheets. I don't know if you want to use any of that. This is for us.
Okay.
If you write the motion here, we may
Okay.
Unless you want to do another one.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. And once I was prepared, I did send it to you excited. Okay, first order of business. I suppose we better do roll call out loud, Chris. You should. Bob May.
Here.
John Coker. Here. Ken Clausen. George Schmidt.
Here.
Pete Bibles. Joe Jogman. Here. Lou Mellon. There. Larry Wall. Here. Okay. First order of business is everybody got a copy of the minutes from September 23rd. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Joe, are you second? I'll second. John Coker. Larry, yes. Bob May.
Yes.
John Coker. Yes. Joe Schmidt. Joe Jogman. Yes. That would be unanimous. Next up is the Commissioner's report for September. We had 27 permits with construction costs of $779,067, which generated fees of $9,281. We received 111 calls on permits and our information requests. 87 site visits and 16 inspections. Okay. Any questions, additions, comments on the Commissioner's report? Being none, we'll move on to old business. First up was 2211 Oaken Wall. Bob, let me know at the last meeting, you guys voted to send that to tell the owners to go back to the mail, which I have done. I texted and not have the emails, but they have responded back to me. Next up is 3002 Northmore. It was noted in the minutes that we didn't receive the survey, which we did. I informed the contractor that what the setbacks were, what the parameters that they must adhere to with their new wall, and I also let them know they have to protect the neighbor's property on both sides. I have not received a response. Will you?
Yeah, the contractor would he's not happy with the fact that there needs to be 20 feet back off the pavement, which is going to make it a really high retaining wall versus 15 feet.
Okay. The only other option, it's actually not on the pavement, it's up the property, but the only other option is to deny it and then they have to go with the PCA. Yeah, he's still working with the resident. Sounds good. Next up is Long Beach Country Club. I talked to one of the representatives from the Country Club on Wednesday. They do not have a septic permit yet. So I told them I would just keep it on, basically on the table until they get their permit. 1610 Nicholas Court. Both Lou and I met on site with the owner. We just discuss with them and show them where the placement of the fence has to be, and they are moving. I don't know, has it been moved yet?
No, and, the resident went overseas and came home with COVID. So I think the, probably the best guy is, slow better. Yeah, the best guy is, scheduled the move of the fence, which will be, completed inside the property. So it's going to happen, it's definitely, yeah.
Okay.
So Larry, so this permit then should be considered a approved permit
Yes, Joe, it's,
as of today?
yes. The beach stairs, I have not talked to all the owners yet. I still have a handful left to talk to. As soon as I get those done, we'll schedule a special meeting just for that. Pete, between Lou, Pete, and Bob, everybody should have all the pictures, and then Pete did a spreadsheet. So we'll read that reference, and we'll make a note there that when we schedule that meeting, we'll make an effort to send, we'll send out all that information again to do the fresh. 29, the local there, actually you can scratch what's on here. We received the permit today from the health department. Did everybody see that? That Lou sent out?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll pass it down and you can look at it too.
Okay, so we're kind
Yeah, we got it. I printed it off.
because,
Pardon me?
maybe can I just make a comment?
Sure.
As always,
Could you guys use your microphones, please?
mine is on.
But you're so far away from each other.
Well, hello. So the comment that I had is I love the internet and everything else, but I believe we have told Joe, me, that I should take care of the records. And there's no way to take care of the records if I don't have a physical copy of the original records, not making a copy from the internet or anything else. I expect a copy of the original records or I can't do the job. So if you would tell Mr. Mellon the situation, so he would have.
Yeah, I think we can do that, but, they just got that today. So that's the copy that was sent to us, and we'll ask the contractor to give the original copy so that you can.
You were sent a copy of the 9 this morning.
It doesn't matter, no, I don't think this is the time or place, but when a permit is submitted through Deanna, it goes into a box, which is for me and me alone, and then I have the original copy of the permit. And that's what the process that we go through. Now, if that has changed, people could let me know.
No, it hasn't changed, so, but we'll make sure that the contractor gets the original copy to you. On that permit, just to make the notes so that everybody's okay. That permit says, hey, I called and spoke to Carrie at the health department this morning. And after the soil scientist was finished and sent a report in, and the system was inspected, the tank was compromised. So they had to put in a new tank, and that permit is for the new tank, and they are approved to reuse in the existing field. So that we can check up on.
Do we have to wait until the new tank is put in before they can do building or not?
No, I mean, it'd be just like a normal new construction situation where the septic system really wouldn't be done until after all the rest of the foundations and superstructure of the building is up. So it's not damaged. Any other questions on 29 million? Next up is 2312 Fairway. I don't know if you remember, but that was a job that they wanted to put a retaining wall in. The retaining wall is to the rear property line. We went back and forth with the contractor, and the owner decided to just plain evergreens at the back of his property, shield the country club's maintenance garage.
All right, Larry, just as a, and I'm sorry for getting into too much details today, but, okay, so we have a permit that was submitted. How do we close that permit, or what do we do, like with this permit, for example? Did we send something to say that no, we don't approve this permit, or how do we close those for record papers?
Well, I'm not positive of what the correct legal situation is, but I will tell the contractor who's the one who applied for the permit that he needs to get with the owner and actually withdraw his permit. I'm not sure about the financial end of that, what happens, whether or not the town refunds his money or it keeps a portion of the value and all that. But I'll talk to the contractor and ask him to send in a retraction of the permit.
Thank you.
Next up on old business is 2217 Chastity. And Lou had sent everyone the recap of all the information last, I believe it was maybe Thursday or Friday, when we updated. Email came out, but the bottom line is with all the information, though I was non-conforming by size. And there's also a structure in the setback of the floor on the side, which requirement is 30 feet, and the setback is 30 feet on the whole. Floor mount on the Chastity side because it's a floor. The proposed deck on the Chastity side does meet setback requirements, and the coverage is at 35%. Joe called me earlier in the week and mentioned that the proposed deck also wraps to the floor on the side, which when you send that out, is that certainly?
Yeah, so with all the information was sent, and then Deanna compiled all together one and sent it out I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 days or something like that. So that's in the deck on the foreman side. It's that it's kind of just a runway between the two decks on each side of the house. Does not change the non-conformity on the north side and the wrong side, because it falls far short of it. It's just a long ways.
I mean, it's in the setting, the southern, we would have the Denver right here. Is making it more non-conforming because it's going into the setback. This is not 30 feet.
The non-conformity is because of the existing deck.
But still, this is making it more non-conforming.
I agree, and Lou, by the way, what you had in your hands was meant to be, and you took it out of my box.
What?
The papers you had in your hands were meant, well, I hate to be bickering with it, I'm just not happy with the behavior. I was supposed to get a copy that you had in your hands and everything.
On 2217 that we're talking about?
Yeah, it was in the box, that was, you should say.
Okay, I think we got the this. So does everybody have the information that Deanna sent out on Monday?
Yes.
Okay, if you scroll down to page 15, which is the copy of the survey. And then this, it says new deck,
Yes.
that is conformal. But your question, Joey, and Joe brought up to me earlier today, is that section that is the upside down L, the section that goes back to, on floor mount to the existing deck, that's what you're talking about, right, Joe?
Right.
Yeah, that is in the non-conforming section.
Is it that making it more non-conforming by the deck?
You know, to be honest with you, I think I'd have to ask Bob how this new ordinance. Do you have that? Are you seeing that, Bob? I can see if I can put it up on Zoom.
What page are you on again of that attachment?
Page 15.
Got it. Okay, I'm looking at, that's got the site plan, right?
Right. So the Chastity side, which is on the right-hand side of the sheet you're looking at, the new deck meets the 30-foot setback.
Yep.
On the north side, or instead of the north, we'll call it the Florida side, the existing deck is only 14 feet from the property line, which puts it in non-conforming status. The new, if you look at the upside down L, the reverse L,
Yep.
the new deck is returning to that existing deck.
Right.
So the question is, with the new ordinance, is that allowed?
I would think that if I'm looking at this, and I guess I would call the Floraman side the south side, that part of the L that's on the Floraman side, that is into the side setback, and there's nothing there now, right? That's just empty?
Right, that's correct.
So I would think that that part of the new deck that extends into the setback does increase the nonconformity.
Okay.
And so if they want to do this, that new deck should extend straight out from the south side of the house, and that part that's south of that, we can't allow. That's my interpretation of our ordinance.
Okay. Well, you guys drafted the ordinance, so I would defer to you.
And I agree with you, Bob.
So I guess what we have to go back to the owners with, to the contractor, is that the deck that's on the Chastity side could be approved in our way, but the return on the Floraman side increases the nonconformity and would have to go to the BZA. So I don't know if they can modify their permit and their plan to just install a deck on the Chastity side. You check with them?
I took them all. Okay. Well, just for clarification, but I don't have those drawings. Is the L, it doesn't matter. I'm not, I think you can explain it to me. Because I just want to be clear on what gets communicated to them. They're not increasing the non-conformity. They're actually encroaching on a new setback, right, by the L portion, which they say to do. So I don't think that has anything to do with non-conformity. They just need a variance to do it. Because they're encroaching on a set, that's a whole new, it doesn't even involve that. Yeah. So we're all saying the same thing. If they want to do that, they need a variance. Or they can simply approve. I don't even think that's increasing a current non-conformance. I think it's creating a, that's right. That's right. They need a variance to do that.
Well, the only issue is technically,
yeah,
we do have a non-conforming on the setback side, because the house, I know this adds to the non-conforming, but there's two non-conformings at least. One is the 35%, and the other one is on the Floraman side. The house and the deck that's there is a setback non-conforming.
Yes, and I think so. The one that exists, the setback non-conformance that exists now, they could improve it. They can't increase it. The non-conformance with lot coverage, they can't increase. They need a variance to do that. The new return is a whole new. That's not a non-conformance. That's an existing. That'd be a violation of the code unless they got a variance.
So we will convey to the owners that the portion on the floor on the outside would need a variance, and as if they decide to believe this variance, they should ask for the same particular section, the variance for over 35%.
We're not over 35%. The total coverage is 35% with the new decks.
He set out some calculations that were at 37%.
Right, yeah, and he used Beacon as opposed to a stamped certified survey for the lot size.
Where is that stamp certified survey?
It's in the packet information.
Where is that located? I have this package that reads 15. I don't think we have a survey that has the whole house. I don't think they ever got the,
Yeah, it's a good one.
why is the house better?
That's how it looks.
That was, is the one post, are you looking at the region 18?
I don't know, but that's the one that's looking back, yeah. Right.
That house is a lot closer to the south end of the property than that.
There's a measurements on that too. That show it to be, I think, 10 feet.
Where does it show that?
You know what, here, let's, as long as we can go back to the numbers, instead of, what they did was they photocopied a piece of the survey.
Yeah.
Asked them to give us a scan of the entire survey so we can see the title block. I think that they gave it.
I think for any permit, we always ask for the whole, everything in the building to be on that survey to show us where everything is and the distances of everything. And we never get that.
Just ask them to look at it. That's the whole thing. That was a question.
And it'd be nice if I got a paper copy.
Sorry?
It would be wonderful if I got a paper copy.
Next up is contract registrations. I don't believe that's been discussed. Bob, I'm against the ABC about the increase in the fund.
The building, or the town council discussed the issue the other day, and will consider an ordinance with changes they want to make.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe Chris is working on that ordinance, right?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, great.
Larry, 1802 wasn't listed under old business, and I saw some emails about a letter. Chris, what's the story with that letter? I wasn't able to figure out.
I don't know what the story is, so I think Mr. Violence has requested a copy of letters that were sent to the Perrys with regard to the terms that they were supposed to bring their, for them to bring their property online, their historical versus anything recent. He's asked me for a copy of them. I have copied the clerk's office, the building commission. He said that he can't find them. I haven't located any to date. We definitely had communications because we had previous discussions about them. Where they are, I don't know. If they're not in the clerk's office, the building commission doesn't have them. So I don't know. I mean, the rest of you have to address with me.
Wasn't there an issue where we had asked them for certain terms and then we got back a letter where some things had been changed? Or am I confused on that?
I think you're confusing. That was the that was for stop 18. The Perry signing a unilateral agreement.
Okay.
That they were waiving any claims to the stop.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
And that has been shared with everybody as well.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to get it Zoom so I can share these documents if anybody has any questions. So they don't have to let me in and Bob in. Okay, next up is 1700 Rosemont, the new business. It's McMahon, they have an existing carport and they want to close that carport. Anybody have any questions about this one? No questions, comments? No. You'll see yourself. No. Yeah, would you get that? No, please.
So my comment on here was that we still need a site plan to be sure there was no increase in volume within the setback.
To be honest with you, I can't answer that. I went and looked at the job. I did not consider the placement of the garage for the existing in relation relative to the lot line. Because they didn't give us a survey, did they?
I don't know.
Would you ask her for that?
Yeah.
Now, probably best then to get a copy of the survey to make sure that the existing carport is not encroaching in setbacks. Is that your question?
And we want to be sure that they're not increasing the volume within the setback, because that is the one thing that we don't allow in that non-conforming ordinance.
So somebody, if they have an existing structure in the setback, they can work on it, but they can't increase the volume.
Yes, because the theory behind that was if somebody on the side, or any of the setbacks, but particularly side houses are close, and then you get another level and your windows are in seven. So that one would require them to have a variance, and that's the only area where volume still exists.
All right, but we'll ask them for, before we approve, we'll ask them for a site with the survey of the lot lines and setbacks for the meeting amendment. 2900 Lakeshore Drive, that's the Sullivan, it came through as the Sullivan permit. Has everybody looked at that?
Yeah.
The stairs, Bob, you had a question about the stairs being over the seawall. They are actually behind the seawall.
Yes. Yeah, I think that should be okay.
Okay.
What was that?
2800 lines. So this is more than applied for the grant.
Are we approving that?
20, we have to vote. Okay.
Yeah.
2900 Lakeshore Drive.
2900 Lakeshore Drive. What was that?
Name of the owner is Lyons.
Lyons.
The contractor was Sullivan.
When did we receive information on the,
Prior.
I never got a paper copy.
I thought we should have.
I never got a paper copy.
Actually, no, he Anderson.
There's,
Last week. This was the week.
It came out Tuesday.
Came on Tuesday.
But
Okay, and Monday at 4:36 she sent it at 12:59. So if you want to pull that up, they can pull it up and they can probably give you the exclusion.
Larry, just one way, a little bit, just verbally, can you lay it out? What is he trying, what does he want to accomplish?
I'm going to put this up on the screen.
Because I know if this is the right property, Larry, he did the seawall and everything, and he put the concrete and everything. That was a major job that he did.
Right.
Which was
that kind of, it's near from that to that.
Oh, is that what is that what he's asking you to do here?
Right. And I'll try to put it.
Like you say, onto the concrete, but that means it would extend towards the lake. Using the concrete as like a seawall.
Right, can you see this? Can you see what's up on the screen there? If you listen, it says water, I mean, admittedly, we got these services, that's wrong, but it's pretty accurate. So the steel sheet piling is out here that says wall. These stairs are going to end up, Joe, it's exactly what you're talking about, on the concrete that is existing. These stairs go over River Lake. It's on the beach. They originally had these stairs coming out and going straight, even though they were behind the seawall, they suggested to me that in order for us to consider it, the spirit would have to meet the ordinance, which means that they have to run the pier that was sitting all over the water.
That's, unusual situations down there. Is that definitely on his property?
Yes,
Because when he put in the concrete, which was fine, was a little bit on the town property. And so this is his ability to get in over his property to get to the beach.
no, it's over the line. The two sections you see here, this is a flat area.
So
This is a flat area. See, you see my,
yeah, I can see.
this is a flat area. Then he comes to a slight slope in the grade itself, but still grass and weeds and stuff. Then this comes down, this is the top of the rock right here. These stairs extend over the rock. Then at the bottom of the slope wall, you can see that if you look over here, you go over some. You have to look at both. See this first section, and he's got stairs that come over the rocks. Then there's a landing here. See, this is the concrete, Joe. This is
The concrete that he poured. Okay.
That's right. And then down at the beach, this is the seawall where my hair is bad before. This property, or this concrete, is where these stairs are going to be on top of. And this is his property.
Now, and I'm not there, but I'm trying to do it from memory. I thought when he poured that concrete, the northern part of the concrete was the seawall.
It is. The concrete extends back over here to the water.
Yeah,
The staircase here is 6 feet away from the edge of the concrete in the steel sheet pipe on the wall.
I'm sorry, let me just, maybe you guys understand it. When I get off the stairs, the second set of stairs, what do I get off to?
Yeah, that's where you look at this.
No,
Again, I know you,
yeah,
you walk out and you go on the stairs over the rock. Then you come to another lane street. On this drawing, these stairs don't go down straight anymore. I told him he had to turn them. That's why there's an extra here. So this landing is right here, and then the stairs go down onto his concrete seawall.
okay, so till you get, when you say landing, that landing has grass or it has boulders?
This landing has grass underneath it. This landing has the slope wall of this seawall underneath it.
And this is one of these landings is where the septic is? It has to be.
Here, look at it like this. See this? This is the flat area of the grades. Then you come down over the ranks, you walk down these stairs onto a landing. He had the stairs then proceeding down to the concrete, which was still on his own property. The steel sheet wall is out here where it's at the beach. I told him this, by ordinance, you can't do this, even if it's on your own property. So he then turned the stairs. If you look at this drawing, then he turned the stairs so that they now go parallel to the lakes, to the lake.
And then the stairs are facing towards, the empty lot that Rural owns next door? Is that right? They're facing that direction, not the direction of the beach.
No, they face the vacant lot next door. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, what do we want to do? Motion to approve, motion to deny.
I would hope to approve.
Joy? I'll second it. John Coker, second. Pardon me. Joe? Joe,
Let me look at it a little bit later.
Bob,
I approve.
John Holden. Approve. Joe, are you?
Yes.
Larry, yes. Joe?
All right. Yeah, if I just, okay, I
Okay.
would like to look at it later.
Next up is 2054 Lakeshore Drive. I can, has everybody seen these drawings? Let's see if I can get them up here.
Which diagram would be the best to look at?
I'll put them up here so that we can, everybody can see what we have. Okay, probably the thing that's going to make the most sense to everybody is to look at on the top right of the drawing and also into this actually strike that. Isn't that 2 lawyers acres? Strike that, yeah, strike it. Don't know why I got that, just say stretch. Okay. Well, Joe should go up there. So this, the one that you see here is up at top where you see my cursor back and forth. That is what's called an elevation. So you're standing on the beach looking at that. So what they're proposing is 2 sets of stairs. The lot, I don't know if you can read that dimensional. So the lot, see down here? The lot is 80 feet wide. So what they want to do is they want to, at each side of the lot, they want to have a landing and then staircase that goes down. And these stairs will end up at 12 feet apart. That's this sector of the lower elevation.
Can you stay on that one for a second?
No,
All right, as we're looking at it from our side, what are we looking at? Is there a seawall? What is that?
well, I'll have to show you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You can look right beneath it. In this section is what's called a plan view, so you're looking down at it, but there's a better than here. This actually was from a survey. So you see where my cursor is moving across? That's the staircase. This is an existing patio. This is an existing patio. They want to be able to get onto stairs. This, unfortunately, this hash mark down here, you can't really, that isn't what we're looking at. You're looking at these straight lines here. Those are the 2 staircases. So you would leave the patio, get onto a landing here, and then you step down these 4 or 5 steps. There's a landing, and you step down 6 more steps to get down to the flat area of the beach. The same thing holds true over here. And I have, bear with me here, I will pull up a picture of this.
And are these stairs the 42-inch?
Yes.
That is a requirement. Those are nice stairs.
I don't know. We have to bring the 8-year-old next time. Should be able to get this done faster. Otherwise, when Jen Copeland said he's a wizard with this stuff. No, I've been trying to get it. I'm gonna try to get a picture so you can see what this, so, Joe, your question is, let me zoom up so you can see. See this section here? These are the stairs, and they are 22 inches wide. This hash section is an existing concrete footing for the seawall. This area right here that's clear is the actual concrete seawall. And I've got a picture of it, which I'll hopefully find.
Okay, so what you're saying, Larry, you're answering one question that the stairs are parallel with the ceiling.
That's correct.
Okay, and are they connected to the concrete seawall, or you're just freestanding?
Yes, they are connected.
And of course, they're metal, right?
Yes, they are. They're completely metal.
And in fact, the previous permit that we approved, those stairs were metal also at Lyons, right?
Yes, they're
Okay.
they're metal also. You guys are gonna have to bear with me, and I have to find this picture. And hopefully I can put that in there for you. I don't know if somebody wants to tell Joe or something.
Is there any reason why we wouldn't do this?
It meets our ordinance. It's 42 inches wide. They're in keeping with our ordinances. It's well behind and I know we don't use the 584, but it's well behind the jurisdictional line of the Corps of Engineers and the DNR uses.
Well, Larry, while you bring up the numbers, I just thought that, just out of curiosity, where's the one stakes?
We'll have to look at them to see what it is.
So. Yeah. Last meeting board. Thanks.
I don't see the 106 out of it, so that's okay.
I'd make a motion to approve this.
Okay,
I'll second.
got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob Mayor,
I'm in favor.
John Cole, I'm in favor. George Schmidt,
I'm in favor.
Joe, okay, Larry, okay. Uh, 1600 Nichols Court, this was a permit that Deanna sent out, I'm not sure when. It's all interior work, so that permit is just, I don't want to say it's an automatic permit, but it really doesn't have to come before us. Just did it for information purposes. 2217, we've already gone over them. 2560, make sure, I'm going to ask Bob if he will take over. Jen, I don't know how you want to do that, Bob.
I'm sorry, say that again, Larry?
That's a job that my company is involved in. So
Oh, right. Okay, so, yeah, so everybody's had a chance, I think, to look at this. The only concern that I had is that that's a property that's behind that chain link fence. If you just peek down there, you can see that there's been a lot of erosion already since that job site's been left. I don't think there's anything in the site plan that's a problem or in their plans. However, properties like this that are prone to erosion near a sensitive body of water, and Lake Michigan would be that, require MS4 supervision. So I talked to the MS4 representative or supervisor or whatever for the town yesterday. Her name is Nicole Messaker, and I explained to her the situation. She agrees. And so the thought is that this permit to me should be approved. However, with the caveat that it does need to be supervised by the MS4 coordinator for Long Beach.
I hate to say the same thing I said earlier. I never got a paper copy of anything on this.
So I guess,
I think we'll get it on the 11th.
I can make sure that you get paper copies of it too.
Well,
You'll have to leave this file and keep it.
now,
If you want to pass it to John, to do, because he
Any more discussion on this?
the other question I have is, the fee for these projects. I understood that for the previous project, they spent $7,000 for the permit. And then for this project, I don't have it in front of me because I don't have a copy of it, but this project is gonna cost something, $87.50.
correct.
So I'm not very good with the math, but that's about $1,700 difference.
$1,750.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. So the question is, do we request the additional $1,750? I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen how much actually was paid, but I'm just asking the question, was the additional $1,750 paid?
I can answer that just from not as the building commissioner. The 7,000 we had to send this out, and then I actually talked. The $7,000 was paid when I sent this information out to all the building commission members. I had noted that obviously it's the building commission's decision as to what happens. I would think that there would be three scenarios here. One, that you ask the owner to pay $8,750 for this permit. Two, you ask the owner to pay $1,750 over what the town has already received, $7,000. Or, in this, I would have to, I suppose, get the clerk, or refund the $7,000 if that's possible, and have the individual pay the full $8,750. I think those are the three.
Yeah, it seemed to me it'd be an easier way to just pay that extra $1,750 and, you know, you don't want him to be paying it twice for the same project in this essence. And he's already paid $7,000.
yeah, I would move that we charge them the $1,750, the difference between what they paid and what they owe for this permit.
I'd second it.
So I guess, Jared, can you do the roll call, John?
Bob, could I talk?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. And I apologize, I haven't scrutinized this to what I'd like to, but a couple of things that I've noticed from the outside is that the previous attempt at construction did I don't know what a technical term is, but they did quite a job on that hill. And the other thing is that I believe what I would be concerned that the hill is reconstructed, which I would hope is in the permit, and to the existing that it was prior to the previous seller. And so that's number one. There'd be, if it's a retaining wall, a new retaining wall. And if I remember right, because I was over there a couple of times, there were stairs, because that home is rather low relative to the street. And there were stairs going down to the property, the front door, etc. So I would hope that that's all there. The only thing is, and again, I'm just making a comment, which I'm not saying that we could do much about it, but just making a comment. When I did get a chance to see a site plan, an older one, that the property line is at a certain point, and on the surveys, they show, because Lakeshore Drive is 50 feet wide, and on the surveys, they show from the property line 25 feet, they're calling it a parking space, which I understand it is the right of way, but it could be used for parking. But that was just my concern then. And it's universal to a lot of places on Lakeshore Drive, the way that road twists and turns and the way people go in it. Now, the only question I have, because I haven't, and I apologize that I haven't scrutinized it, it talks about an addition. I don't know, Larry, if you're willing to explain it. Where is the addition going to go to the house?
The addition is on the southeast side. And the site plan, you can see there's a site plan that shows the existing site plan, the existing conditions, and then it also shows the new site plan, which has the addition on it. And to answer your question on the Lakeshore Drive section, I have talked with Tom Dahl as well as Jen Wall from the Street Department. And I think we had several conversations with Mark Swisbeck about the situation that was created previously. And that is the first thing that's going to be done, that's to be corrected. And they've talked to me about the MS4 people, and I believe so before anything is done on the job, the MS4 people will be involved. I just found out about it, I had a conversation with them yesterday. So I'll get them involved, and then we'll work with Tom Dahl on the Street Department, because the concern is the damage that was done previously has created a precarious situation in Lakeshore Drive, where there's quite a bit of erosion and close to underlaying the street. So that is being addressed first and foremost.
And just for my clarity, I apologize for monopolizing this minute, but there's no longer going to be a second floor added. That was taken out. Forget about anything that the previous application was. This is a brand new application.
Absolutely.
And it's completely different. It is what it is.
There is no reference, it's a completely different job.
Okay. And as always, I guess I'm a broken record today, but I would like to make sure I get a paper copy of all of this, of the permit application and of everything else that's there, so we have it for our records.
Okay, I'll make sure you got that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to charge the homeowner an additional $1,750 on the building permit. Bob Lemay,
Aye.
John Coker, yes. Joy,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Best.
Okay, next up is 1420 Lakeshore Drive. Again, that's an all interior, just a bath renovation. It's been included in the agenda for reference only.
Larry, just a comment on that, so you know, I know you looked at this earlier, and the holdup was that the builders were not registered, and they didn't get registered until about October 7th. So, just so you know.
Thanks, Joe. Next up is 2700 Oriole Trail. There are actually two permits. I know, Bob, you had a question about that. The first one that came in first is a fence. The fence was installed on a permit, citation was issued. Lou went to the site when the call was made about the fence going up. Wrote a citation, the owner came down the day, paid the citation, and applied for the permit. But has everybody seen the permit? What the reaction?
We can't buy a permit to the fence.
Here, if you want to read it, it's just the two sentences.
Right. So they want to put up, they're calling it a temporary fence. We don't have in our ordinances, an ordinance that deals with temporary fences. When I sent the information out to everybody, they copies of the fence ordinance, as well as anything to do with, in our ordinances with temporary structures. In nowhere in the temporary structures does it mention fences. So this would have to be considered as a permanent fence because I don't think we can consider it any other way. The fence is in a side yard. It is well over 6 inches from the property line. And I can't remember, is it on there, how far, how wide it is?
How long is it?
Right, how long it is.
Yeah, it's less than 20 feet long.
It's less than.
6 feet.
So the fence itself meets the criteria in our fencing ordinance for fence ordinance.
Can I ask Lou, I believe you took is this the one where you took a picture of? I saw it, it's green.
Yeah, I guess I'll get a
Yeah.
picture.
Is it possible to put that up, Larry, the picture? So I thought it was quite an unusual looking fence.
That's like a blind. Kind of like a plastic ivy. Let's see if you can.
And then I don't know if it's necessarily relevant to everything, but I thought I saw some emails going back and forth that the neighbors weren't happy about the fence or something like that. And I thought he was putting up the fence initially to protect the neighbors from going to his permit. So I don't know where all of this is at.
Yeah, there's definitely a dispute between these neighbors.
And I know we don't want to get in between the neighbors, so.
Lou, do you have the date in so I can try to pull it up here?
No, I'm not phone in my car.
Oh, let me see. I can go get it. No, it's not, I should be able to type the address.
I'd make a motion that we approve this fence. I don't think we have any ordinances against ugly.
Yes, what? Well,
You should, yes.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know what. I know that there's been some back and forth between the neighbors, but that's actually a civil matter. It's not something that is under our purview, unless I'm incorrect. Chris?
See anything that addresses that?
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Joy? Bob LeMay?
I'm in favor.
John Copeland?
Yes.
Joy Schmidt?
Yes.
Joe Jogger?
I'm gonna abstain from this one.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna, what is my best term?
Okay. Larry is yes. So that's it. 3008 Lakeshore Drive. Remove, replace existing failing steps and planter.
Larry, you got, there's two of them for 2,700.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was right in the wrong one. The next one is 2,700 Oriental. It's the same property. They want to build a wood deck over an existing paved driveway. That I do have a plan for, which you can see.
We got this September 23rd.
This permit? Looks like the permit was September 29th.
Yeah, I got both. I got 23rd and 29th.
The fence was 23rd. This was the 29th.
Don't we have one of the protection on?
Yeah, sure, yeah. That was on the 23rd.
Did we ever get a survey showing the location of the proposed deck with the setbacks? I had asked for that.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
We have it. I see it on Lou's got a hard copy of it here, but unfortunately, I can't seem to find it on the computer.
Yeah, I don't think I ever received.
Like the application came in on the 29th, and then for some reason we show this to be the survey to be received on the 23rd.
Yeah, if this is correct, I mean, he owns three properties, lot 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, it's right outside.
Looks like a pretty big property.
It's right in the middle lot. Over existing concrete, so there's no coverage issue. My only question about this job is the structural rating of two by 12s system together for half of the deck.
So we're talking,
That's it, like that.
this is like,
That right there is, no, that right there.
Look at it. I got it on the screen if you want.
This is the diagram. So, all of this is concrete, but this is full of two.
Unfortunately, the one that I have that I could put on the screen does not show. Let me see. It does not have the line going for the deck.
See where the 17 is, on lot 17?
The deck,
That's exactly where it
is right here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from a coverage, they did not supply us with coverage calculations, did they?
I don't believe so because, they're, they want to install this deck over existing tank.
Okay. So there's no coverage issue. The question that Lou has is whether or not the joists are structurally sound and according to code. I will do this afternoon out on the engineering on them and make sure that they meet. You know, is that me?
Let's check it. While you're looking, can I ask Bob a quick question?
Mhm.
Bob, you threw out, and again, maybe I'm behind the times, the volume issue. And does the volume issue come into play when you're putting it over concrete? Is that
Yeah, not unless, according to the new ordinance, not unless that increase in volume is within the setback.
Right. There's no, on this particular, what they want to do, there's no setback issues. There's obviously no volume issues. The square foot of the lot is 26,352. We can ask them to give us coverage calculations, but just visually, I mean, I can see that it's well under 35%.
Yeah, I have, I'm sorry, I haven't got that.
Okay. Look, one of them.
All three lots are combined for a total of 26,352 square feet. Allowable coverage in that scenario is 9,223 square feet. The house is 2,260 square feet, driveway, parking area is 7,800 square feet, proposed deck 315 square feet, total coverage 6,375 square feet, percentage coverage 24%. We got this in the email from the 29th of September. I don't know if it's earnest structural rating of what this guy wants to go through.
No, I think it's going to be engineering.
I would make a motion to approve with Larry's information is okay.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it. Over.
Okay. Bob May,
I'm in favor.
John Coker,
In favor.
Joyce Schmidt,
Yes.
Joe Johnson. Okay. Larry Wall, yes. Okay. Next up is 3008 Lakeshore Drive. Remove and replace existing failing steps and planter boxes. This is the white and yellow house.
When, excuse me, Larry, when did we receive this permit? I never got a copy of it.
October 11th.
Never got a paper copy of this permit.
Oh, I'm in a meeting. No, okay.
Well, I see the permit, but I don't see any drawings or anything, so I don't know.
It's a straight remove and replace. I visited the site with the contractor. No additional coverage. No.
I think we need some documentation. How much is this project for?
Harvey,
It's on there. What is the cost of this project?
40,000. Any comments, discussion, requests? Joe, what did you ask?
Well, first of all, I'd like to get an official paper copy of this. I never got one. I think it's out of the box. I'd like the original. And secondly, it just seems, I don't know, for $40,000, I don't know, falling steps, how many falling steps are there? And how many planter boxes are there? I mean, 40G is a pretty good number. I think I would like to see a little bit more. Not that I'm against it, but I'd like to see what they're doing.
Okay, it's all natural stone. It's just like 6-inch thick slabs, a couple pallets of them.
I'd like to see that from them, Lou.
See what?
I'd like to see.
Did you have a question, Joe?
No.
Did you ask the same thing about seeing this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yes, I'd have a question as to how replacing steps is going to correct drainage issues.
would you repeat that?
I would have a question as to how replacing steps is going to correct drainage issues. They must have something more planned than just replacing steps.
Okay.
I think the point is the steps aren't going to wash away, which is what they had happening with the existing steps. They happen to be at one of those points in Lakeshore Drive where the water comes from east and the west on Lakeshore Drive and goes down the area where the existing steps were, and it was washed out.
Okay, got it.
This is a property, I don't know if any of you remember, but the town used to have a drain that ran through this property. And I think it may have even been before Tom was the street superintendent, they actually removed the drain. So it falls on what Lou was saying. So what do you guys, what's your direction here? Do you want us to get a site plan? Do you want us to?
Well, if all it is remove and replace, and that's in fact all they're doing, then I have no problem if that's what they're doing. So I would make a motion to approve based on that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? Bob Lamb,
I'm okay. Yes.
John Cole,
Yes.
George Schmidt,
Yes.
George Iron,
No, I'd like to see more detail.
Larry, yes.
And I'd like to get a paper copy of this. I'll keep saying it over and over.
Yeah, I got that. Maybe. Oh, the water department. This, I'm not sure that this is even for us to discuss. It was just brought to our attention that Lakeshore Drive, you guys are the council probably know a lot more about it than we do. So I think we probably should wait to have a discussion about it until it's decided.
I think the only thing they're doing right now is going to pre-purchase a lot of material and hold up until they're
Okay.
The only comment that I would make on this, and I don't remember the address of a certain property, but people that are thinking of extending their driveways, etc., I think they should talk with Tom Dolph to see if it's worth getting a cut permit, because they might have to redo it, and it might be a waste. So,
Yeah, but that's how this actually came about, was 2049 Lakeshore wanted to put new railroad tie, flower boxes, and a new driveway. And we didn't get a street cut permit, it was denied, basically because Tom found out that this is one of the lots that the water company is going to be repairing, putting in a new main and a new buffalo box. And Tom came to us and said, look, we're not going to approve this street cut because we're going to be putting in a new driveway in the spring. So I talked to the homeowner, and the homeowner said, well, I don't want to put 2 new driveways in, so we'll wait. So that's what happened. And they're pleased that we came up with this information for them. And so I think we had this permit on this, with the exception of street cut permit, which was denied, and I put a stop work order on the job so that nobody would continue work. I did not cite them because it's not their fault.
We'll just have to make sure that anything that comes up with somebody who's going to do any landscaping, driveway issues on Lakeshore Drive, we make sure that you bounce it off time. So, street cut permit at all.
let me ask the question for that particular property. They were going to do 2 things. One was the driveway, which they needed the street cut for, and the other one was for, I think, older retaining walls or something. So did they continue with that also?
No, they started to do a little demo work on the rotted railroad ties, but that was stopped when we got the denial in the street.
So this whole project was put to stop. That permit has a stop on it?
The stop order was for the driveway.
Oh, not the other.
Well, I can get that. I put a stop order on the entire because the buffalo box is in one of those flower containers.
So they're not proceeding with the work until we find out, or they find out, the town council finds out when they're going to do the water project.
That's correct.
Okay. Next up on here is our next meeting is scheduled for Veterans Day. I don't know, but I have to ask council members and Chris, can we have a meeting on a holiday?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, do it regularly, the issue is we want to.
Okay.
So let's, you guys you do have many, as a town, have many meetings on holidays, whatever, you're able to do that, that's your prerogative, so.
You know what, let's just walk down the list and see if there's, I mean, I don't know if it needs a motion or not, but I think we should just ask everybody if that's okay, if it is, we'll have it. And we have a couple of people say no, we won't.
I won't be here.
Okay, so who's out? Joe?
No.
No. Pete's not here. Joy? Ken's not here. John?
I'll be here.
Yes. Bob?
I'll be here.
I can hear 1, 2, 3, 2. You know what, I better check with the other two. I don't want to schedule a meeting and find out that we're going to have an issue with attendance. So I'll check with the other people. This really doesn't require a vote, right? Right.
Yeah, let me know and I can change the date if we need to, and that's fine.
Yeah, the recommendation is not put those who have applications before you where you have to give this decision. So that there's more, or at least it's your prerogative again, it puts them in a more difficult situation versus having full. And as long as you advise them that ends up that way, we decide you want to have them get it, just divide it from the requirement.
Okay, so on this detail, I will get a hold of the other two people who aren't here and ask them if they're going to be able to make it, and then we can make a decision. As Chris mentioned, we'll make sure that we are going to that people understand and that they will be able to unanimous decision on the permit.
I think I heard that Lou couldn't be here, right? On that day?
I will not be here.
So maybe we should just move it back a week. Does anybody have a problem with that? I can do that real easily.
No, that's fine. Let's just do that then.
Okay. I'll get it done and get an email out to everybody.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Mhm.
You must be the only building in town because there are additions. Okay, the last thing that I have is in May provided us with copies of the outstanding citations, and in particular, there was an email that came to us. It had 4 citations on the stairs. I'm not a citation. I don't understand the legalities of how these citations work. My understanding is that once we issue a citation, that if it's not paid by whatever the court date is, it goes to like a cattle call.
Yeah, the issue is those 4 old ones. I think the question is, were they paid? They weren't being tracked. So the issue is whether those are still valid or not. Whether we go forward is based on that decision. The rest of them are all to be addressed. I think the main question is some of those, have they been paid? Are they still valid? Were they corrected?
Okay, let's go through them individually unless somebody wants to make a motion for some sort of, probably best if we go through. First one, 1950 Lakeshore Drive. No building permit for stairs.
What's the name of it?
Pearson. We are SIN. It might not be the exact spelling, but it is similar to that.
Is that, just out of curiosity, if you know, is that next to bus stop 20, or is that
The first house west of stop,
the first house?
Yeah, I think she's corresponded and indicated that she's talking about being grandfathered in or something, and she's had stairs.
It's part of yes,
One
it is
of the issues.
It is part of our ongoing stair situation. So I think what Chris is asking is, are these valid? Do we want to pursue the $100 on this? Bob, I know that you had drafted with, I think, Chris, or maybe it was I can't remember how it went, but we sent a letter to everybody and said your stairs may be in violation of the ordinance. We're going to take an inventory and move from there.
Well,
Pretty much.
we did, and then we had that meeting with everybody, right? Then you were speaking to some, so we're not ready. And because you weren't in person last month, again, my suggestion, and at least my recollection of what we communicated to the public was, everybody was going to do their due diligence as the building commission, come back with some of those, because we went through that long list, there were notes, there were things to verify, then make some determinations, and then be in a position to then address both ways. Those that are deemed valid, sending some form of confirmation correspondence to them that they can take to the bank, for lack of a better description, right? Those that are believed to be in violation, send them an individual notice saying, we believe they're in violation for these reasons, be able to provide them with the reasoning, and then give them a certain amount of time, whatever you deem appropriate, to come back to you if they believe otherwise, or if you get ignored or they're not brought into compliance, then deciding whether you're going to take action against them. So all of these, I believe, probably fall in that discussion, and
I think so.
going back to look to see whether they are or aren't valid as they stand now, have they been changed, you know, and they may all be the legal standards, right? But they're all part of this process of what we're doing, in my opinion.
Well, based on that information alone, I would suggest that we not pursue collection of fees until we have our final meeting, or let's call it our final meeting on the stairs, and make a determination on each property where we think they're at and where we should go. Is that in keeping with what?
I would second it.
Pardon me?
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Take it like that.
Yeah, all right. I don't think we need to have a vote. No, that's right, we do. Bob Levin,
That sounds like a good idea to me. Yes.
John Coker. Yes. Joy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Joe Jackman.
Yes.
Larry Wall. Yes. Okay. That's all I did.
Can I ask a question to Chris?
Oh, public comments. I'm sorry. No, let's go to you first.
1612 Indianapolis.
Yes.
Any resolution?
Well, it's not resolved because we still have a pending action, so they're not off the hook. But I do have a proposal that I need to pass along, so their attorney and I have been in we have had correspondence recent. So I'll send that to you, likely next week, but I'm anticipating a proposal to resolve it and bring it into compliance so that we can get rid of that.
Okay.
But they also understand that there is if it gets resolved, there is a fine component that has to be decided, right, because they were out.
Okay.
They still don't have rail around that second story deck. Well, I would say whatever their proposal is, that'll be part of what you want, or maybe that they're tearing some things out, right? So those will be things that you just have to be prepared. When you see it, those will be the comments that you counter with.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Will we adjourn? No. Public comment. Anybody here? There's no here. Anybody on Zoom? Anybody?
Yes. Yes, this is William Dubon. Can you guys hear me?
Sure. What's your address?
1421 Lakeshore Drive.
1421 Lakeshore Drive?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just have a question. On your website, there's a list of all the permits they have been issued, but that list is outdated for more than a year. I was wondering if there's a plan to update that list.
We'll have to look into that, William. I have not looked at it. Would be very simple for us to update it. I think it's just a copy of our spreadsheet, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure that there's an updated spreadsheet. We just have to get that to the administrator, which I think is Meg Collins. Isn't she the one who administrates the website? Yeah. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. We'll have it updated for you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. That's it. Thank you.
So Joe, can you send that list to Meg?
Did you hear that, Joe? If you would send that spreadsheet to Meg, she'll post it on the website.
The spreadsheet of everybody
It's approved.
No, just the permits, the approved permits.
that for the last.
Year. He said it's not, so whatever carries off. Well, I think we should look at the last date it's on there and then see what, fill it in from there.
You can just look at the website, see what the last cutoff is, and then just cut your spreadsheet off with that date start, and then to current. You know, if you could do that each month, then Meg can add them on for us. I knew it would be pretty simple, we just haven't done. Okay, any other public comment on Zoom? Being none, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Retirement.
Pardon me?
The motion is to go on, whatever.
Adjourn.
Adjourn, okay, I was gonna retire.
Second. Second. Third. Okay.
I'm in favor of that.
Jack Coker. Favor. Joyce Smith.
Yes.
Joe Jagger. Favor. Larry. Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.